Guys, we joined at the perfect time. The Elite Cup is back. If you're not familiar, they are playing for the qualification spots to Esports World Cup and Esports Nations Cup. Those tournaments have a grand prize pool of $750,000. All the best Trackmania players have been signed by big orgs related to these leagues who are hoping that their players will make it through. Some have already qualified now through DreamHack Birmingham and really have no reason to play except for the fun of it, for the fun competing. But many are still vying for their spots. So right now, inside line by only Grenadier and Elcon. Maybe because they find it easier and safer. So that's the start line some people are talking about. But yeah, the leader of the Elite Cup right now that hasn't yet qualified for the EWC is Binks. He is clear first. And then it's actually Massa second, because Mudda is now qualified and Grenadier is qualified. So a lot of the spots in the top have already been secured. Nice B Swarm. Yeah, it's a lot of cars to begin with. If you're not familiar with the format, it is 39 rounds of knockout. So every round to begin with, the 2 slowest players go out. And this is a map that I think we're not going to see too many big mistakes on. Like, the craziest thing that can happen is you miss this jump and you have to respawn. Which maybe has already happened to some people, but Melio here is in a world of trouble. You could also miss the last turnaround, but they have figured out how to do it now. But there's been a lot of signings, like J-Swag, for example, was signed by Fnatic. He's a New Zealand player. And Biowak was signed by Team Sentinels. Because if I find the full, like, transfer list, they just closed the transfer window. So we have all the orgs now. Real quick, sorry I'm tabbed out, give me a second. Not sure I can find it in a quick moment. Because Paco made a mistake in the start, and he was doing great in the quali. Cacney and Neil are signed also, yeah. Pastito did great in the quali. Bren made it. Someone asked if he made it to Division 1. We have Jan and Rotrex in the back. Opa! Lingo and reverse inputs. No. Lingo's probably going to be out here. Sometimes when you drive backwards, guys, right becomes right and left becomes left. Whereas it should be that when you steer left, the car goes to the right and vice versa. This typically happens if you land in a slide compared to landing with full grip. So that is painful to see. Milmi also 8 seconds behind. Another round that, yeah, we won't see any changes on. Even Avon here, who is slow, and J-Swag, who's respawning, they'll be fine. It's just too big of a gap. Oh, someone has it. Thank you. Flimsy and Cacney are now on Team Heretics. Huso and Chemko are now on Rex. Not familiar. Hadra got signed. Payne got signed. Jadon is on Team Onic. Oh, wow. Coco is playing for Wolves Esport. Okay. Awesome. So many new players on different teams. Sully with a mistake in the start. Also Scrappy quite slow. It might be that it, you know, you're plus 0.3, you've like touched the outside wall or something. Up on the backwards, what do we see? Oh, some people with inverse inputs. You saw those people going out to the side there? That's not so much what they were trying to do, right? That is car going wrong way because of exactly that phenomenon. And this would be less likely to happen if they could land in backwards gear. But they cannot. It is at the moment not possible to land anyway in backwards gear where it's faster on this map. So even here, we're driving in reverse, right? But the car is still in forwards gear and will be until the car drops under 100 speed. That was a bad respawn. Jadon might be fine. Some car respawned the ending there. Yeah, Flimsy. We just talked about. Let's Jadon escape here. Scot-free. Is Wizzy playing? Yeah, he's here with the blue The blue club tag. You get so used to looking at players by their club tags that when someone changes, they like become invisible almost. Oh, who fell off on the water? What's that? Yeah, away 3-ish. I thought it was spam for a second. Spam is okay. That's a big mistake. Opa, no slide from Charles. That also looked basically like a ticket out of the match. Kashi, did he make the jump? I think everyone made it, but a sketchy one. But yeah, these two are 5 seconds behind, 6 seconds behind. Not likely to come back, guys. These first rounds have been a bit of a mess. Let's see the pace up front. As I do. Oh, I say it's pretty much decided, but Sully with a big mistake. They're just trying to get low airtime. And here you can't really avoid it. Just go backwards, straight line. And then wait till the car is fully on the ice before you flick. Is the move. Scrappy. Oh la la, this is not what he was hoping for. Yeah, that is a big surprise. That is a really big surprise. Must have missed the jump up. Same for Jadon. It's a huge knockout, actually. It's a huge knockout. I thought it was all but a guarantee that players in the back were out. Because you see the splits, but maybe they had inverse inputs and everything. Yeah. And it's also, like, guys, you know, everyone in this match has practiced for at least 10 to 15 hours on the track of the top contenders. Which I think Scrappy was one of, clearly. Top 10 in the quali. So, you practice for 15 hours, you make one mistake in an early round like that, and it's like, oh. I just, like... I just erased all that effort. It's crazy. But yeah, Scrappy is currently, with current standings, in the last qualified spot. Binks had some issues here on the backward steering. And, again, I'm gonna say it, I don't think he's gonna survive that. I'll be very surprised, but now, let's be a bit more cautious and look for mistakes on the second backwards part. It would be a bit anticlimactic if the only, like, discerning part is whether or not people have the wrong steering here. But they're all fine, yeah. It's gonna... Oh! Tween driving backwards to the finish, I like it. Tween was like, you know what? That ice turnaround thing that people... No, I'm just not turnaround. It's 10 seconds. Does Trackmania have elo? Not really, but players have a good feeling for who they're better than and who is better than them. Like, me and Carl often look at the field and we think, wow, you know, people are getting quite strong nowadays. So, you do see a lot of rising talents lately, but the best still remain the best, typically. Oh, that was someone, yeah. So hard to know who had that. Inverse inputs. Jesus Christ, yeah. Unfortunate for Bren. Luckily for him, though, he is already qualified. Wizzy as well with issues. Guys, I'm gonna pull up Bren's stream in a moment and show you what that is. If you're confused. But Bren fully out. Wizzy very likely out. He would need someone to mess up the jump. Oh, someone clipped. That was spam, no? No, it was Sully. So Sully's gonna be... Oh, Paco's slow too. But here the speed resets a bit. This is close. First close round in what feels like forever. Wizzy versus Paco. And Wizzy remains in. Paco out. Yeah, so check out Brand's stream for a moment. Just chilling and driving. Yeah, so look at this. He's just holding backwards, and he's trying to steer what he thinks is the correct input. But because he landed sliding, it goes the other way. So now he's trying to steer down to the right, but he steers left. But guys, I think the rounds will become very much about pace once we get into the later stages, but right now in a field of 50, you just cannot reasonably expect every single player to survive those parts. So we're really just looking at who survives the backwards. But there will come rounds, and I think maybe around the top 35 mark, something around there, where there's no mistakes anymore. And it's just pace. But for now, like, it's kind of redundant to look at lines and pace and everything, because we're just looking at ice and turnarounds and oh la la, and inverse inputs. Sully with a mistake, but Onio is a bit behind. I mentioned Onio before, but he's a legend of the game who used to play a lot back in the days and has come back for the Elite Cups to compete. I think mostly for the fun of it, but with one good performance, you know, you can climb very high on the leaderboard and maybe get to the EWC. Was the ice bug patched? No, and it likely won't be. J-Swag out. Cool to see Fnatic in Trackmania though, I can't believe that still. And this was never like talked about much since the signing. Fnatic J-Swag. Unfortunate cup for him, but it's really cool to see. Yeah, so for those that are not familiar, on this map you have 2 ice turnarounds, and when people were practicing, they found out that if you're only playing the ending, like say you spawn the car just before the ending and train the last turnaround, you can just hold left and it will spin you very quickly. But if you play the full map and you try to do the same thing, just hold left to spin quickly, it doesn't work. The car kind of locks up. And what they found out is that because on this ice part here, you accelerate out of it with icy tires, the last state of the car that the game saves on ice is like, you were forwards last time you had icy tires. So when you go on to ice again, second time around in the ending, that's the first thing the game remembers, and it inverts your steering. So what you have to do is you have to wait for a moment when you enter the ice. You see Evan do it here. Wait for a second, then do the turnaround, and now you're able to spin. So if you're going for author time here and you're struggling, make sure you wait a moment on the ice. Or you can stop inputting when the icy tires stop being icy, yeah, but you wouldn't want to try for that because it doesn't gain. If it gained anything, it's a different matter, but it gains essentially nothing. But maybe there are maps in the future where that will be necessary, like in Kaki and such. Scrappy said he's gonna retire. I mean, he does probably have some practice on the next couple maps. I think he can come back, but damn, it sucks to have some really bad performances when you're feeling good on the maps in general. Birdie with a slow start here. Koshi, I feel like, has been close to the bottom many times, but survived so far. If you guys aren't familiar with the points format, they get a little bit extra points for each position they survive, but it really ramps up in the top 8. For 8th place, you get 100 points, and every position you gain thereafter, you get more and more points. Onio is probably out. Birdie versus Koshi in the end, and Birdie takes the spot, finally knocking out Koshi. The rounds are getting much better, guys. Guys, it's time to get into actually casting what we're seeing on screen, which is now consistent driving, I believe. So in the start, you do have some different lines. We've seen Elcon and Grenadi do this inside line. You can see that they lose a little bit, but they don't have to deal with going close to the walls. Now here, look at the angle of Elcon's car. He's jumping out of what is a flat wall, but sometimes you can get the car to land with the back wheels a lot sooner. He didn't get it, but I've seen him go for it. That costs him a little bit of time. And then out of the ice, they accelerate as soon as the car is facing forwards. Through the water part, we're gonna follow the battle in the ending here for survival. Yakosto and Pika are in the red. Stuffed on the cutoff as well. Will he hold on here? Exotica's there too. Pika's very far. Could be double Portuguese elimination. Maybe someone messes up the turnaround. Exotica's wide. But Yakosto too far. Portugal, Caralho. Not the best here. The Portuguese players go out together. I feel like that's happened before, yeah? And typically, I feel like it's actually happened many times that it's a double nationality on the same knockout. But yeah, guys, let's focus on the players still competing. Everyone who gets eliminated here is going to be a bit sad. That's just what it is. There are more chances. Oh, this is a sick landing from Mole. That, like, backwards thing, beautiful. Gets him more speed. You can see he's gaining quite a lot of time there. Mime in the red. Mime got so close to qualifying for Red Bull faster. He got second place in 2 matches there. And he also got second place last year, so got a feel for Mime with that result. Hopefully this Elite Cup will go better. Needs to snipe someone in the end. Tween has a shaky landing backwards. Chemko with an awkward line too. Cackney maybe with a chance. Buy Me has failed and also Gloss, so Spam. Oh, he only gets past 1. Spam is standing as well and is out. But yeah, the ice turnaround that everyone is talking about, it's not that big of a deal actually. They just wait with the input and it works every time. And I think had it been worse, Nadea would actually intervene. But because it's such like a tiny nuisance, they're not gonna do anything about it. It's a bit like a pothole that's, you could just avoid it, you know? If the pothole is unavoidable and dangerous, your local government will fix it. But if it's just a tiny inconvenience, they leave it be. At least in Norway, it's like that. New Prime 12 seconds behind. I had hoped to see New Prime play my event yesterday, but he was practicing for this. But now it looks like he should have played Red Bull faster, because that is a tough result to have. Tough result to have. Maybe he could have gone through in Red Bull instead. Just saying. Unfortunate for Birdie also, but a good performance. Also, the winning times, guys, like 1:11 low. Seems to be where they find the pace consistent. We've seen some 110s as well. Gwen was driving 110.8 in rounds. Neon 110.61, the world record. That is something I do want to pay attention to, but it's a lot more about who gets knocked out in the beginning than the winning pace. Is Pasito Paco still in? No, he got eliminated early. Charlotte's in trouble. Soldier plus 1.2. The jump up, any inverse input. Looks all good. Noisia though, losing a bit of speed. Charlotte with a great downhill, catching up. For now, Soldier can't do much to recover. The others are driving fast. Soldier's losing further time in the red. Dirt downhill, good nose slide as well by Noisia. He's pulling ahead a little bit, but still not safe. Needs this jump, good charge clips. He risked, he tried to go low, and he pays the price. Maybe if there's a mistake now, Charge can come back. Does not look like it. Nitek, Soldier will come back. Wow. Soldier was lost the entire round until the turnaround. Did I predict the winner? I'm gonna say Guan. What are we playing? This is the campaign map Germany. The first of the 5 black tracks in this campaign. And they're playing 39 rounds of knockout in the Elite Cups. They've already done 5 on the winter campaign tracks. And so this is the second set of Elite Cups. And after these 5, we will have our top 8 players. Offie with a huge mistake. That is GG. We'll have our top 8 players that qualify to the EWC. And also our top 16 to the Esports Nations Cup as well. Unfortunate for Offie. Tona versus Legu in the back of the field. Rossi with low speed. He's going to enter the red in a moment before the jump. Did not see anyone clip the jump, so we do have a very close battle now. Down to the finish. Rossi is the one in the red looking for a comeback. Needs someone to fail the turnaround, but they all get it. Charles sliding out at the end of it, and Josh as well into the fence. Also, we have a $20 super chat saying, "It is not a minor inconvenience. It is affecting pro players at the top level with what feels like very little ability to control. And when this whole competition is about consistency, it's unacceptable to have this." They're all surviving the last turnaround because they know what to do. What they're not surviving is the middle part, for example. Landing backwards in a slide with inverse input. That has claimed far more rounds so far than not being able to turn around. Like, the ending of the map is very consistent. It's a bit like... It doesn't cause any randomness. So, I don't think the ending here is a problem at all. I mean, you could argue, like, a much greater example of this is, like... In Red Bull Faster last year, we had the map with the plastic bounce, where players knew there was a chance of a slowdown if they didn't turn around the car. Many players still turned around the car. But that one was... Oh, Bestie has flown out and also one more opponent. So, gap's gonna be huge here. But on that one, the players... It affected the rounds to such an extent that it was a very bad thing to have in your map. It was bad map design. So that is a case for something that, like, absolutely shouldn't be a thing. But here, whether it is a thing or not, they know how to avoid it with 100% consistency. So it's not an issue. You just turn at the right time. Don't turn at the wrong time and turn at the correct time. You have a huge window. Now is double US KO, yeah. First double Portugal, now double US. We're still waiting for the big points, guys, in the end of the Elite Cup. Only real big surprises have been, to me at least... Well, actually quite a lot of big surprises right now. Bren out, Offie out, Binks out, Pusito Paco, Scrappy. Some incredibly fast players that have gotten eliminated. Now a very close round. Otak dropping down a bit. Into the red. Jumps early onto the grass, gets an early inside line. Does not go too fast up the hill. Controls the speed. Good no slide as well, but still not in the clear. Mola dropping down a bit. Not the best speed for him. Golden Nugget also with a lot. Tween in trouble. Someone missed the drop down there. That was Coco. He is likely out. And the other player is going to be Huso, who doesn't turn around. Huso drives the end backwards. Whether intentionally or not. Might not have been intentional. Steer bug. Got the steer bug. So maybe I should take it back. One player not getting the turnaround. Can we blame the bug anymore now that we all know how it works? Oh, Mime. Oh, no. That was such a big slowdown. Maybe there's a chance for him, though, as Snow crashes too. They're in this together. And Mimo Jr.'s made a mistake. Okay, so there's a 3-way battle for survival. 3-way ba. He risked too hard. Maybe it will be a slugfest here, but it does not look like it. Looks like the others are a little too far for mine now. Sometimes it's just a mud brawl when a lot of players make a mistake, like on Everest and Red Bull Faster. Lots can happen here. You're holding out for a massive miracle. Although, right, like Mime could potentially pass Glust, and if one player makes a mistake in the ending, then there would be chances. Icy Tires gotta control the grip. Nobody sliding out. Glust and Mime are out. Top 30. How are there players that are pre-qualified? There are many different paths to qualify to EWC. We had a tournament at the end of March in DreamHack Birmingham, where 8 EWC qualifier spots were awarded. And so, I mean, Pack, Epos, Grenadi, Mudda, also, oh, I'm struggling to remember right now. Elcon got a qualifier spot, Wosile. Many players qualified through that tournament, so they really have no reason to play the Elite Cups anymore, but still fun for them, I guess. And then there are 8 spots through the... So 8 spots in DreamHack, 8 spots here in the Elite Cups, and then there will be an online qualifier tournament at some point before the event, where the remainder 16 spots are granted. Yeah, they can still play for the Esports Nations Cup, you're right. It's true. Lagoon problem, Snow even more so. Last turnaround. Saw Tweed miss it earlier. Golden Nugget safing it. And they will hold on to their safe spots. Yeah, so the Nations Cup rankings matter a lot. It's true. Also, where's Alcon? Yeah, okay. I thought for a second I didn't see him on the inside line. It's only him and Grenadi doing that. He's still there. Saw only one car and got worried for a second. Oy, was that Golden Nugget? Think he hit the wall there. No, he's in the field. Some green tag had a massive faceplant. Charles is... What is going on? Guys, am I seeing name tags crash and then they're not? Like, on my screen, I could swear I saw someone have a terrible fail. But they didn't. I don't know if I'm tripping. Like, I'm seeing people fly out, but they're fine. Gwen in trouble, by the way. I predicted Gwen to win. Will that prediction fall through? He has a lot of speed. Late turnaround onto the boost. He's past Golden Nugget, but Golden Nugget more speed. But Gwen wins those by 2 thousandths of a second. Oh my days. I need a VOD review. I need a VOD review. I think I'm losing my mind. Oh, it was Charles. No. There was a mistake. It was... I thought this was Golden Nugget. There was a mistake. Why are you not playing? I'm a bit out of the loop. Quite frankly, players like myself and Carl, we don't play these types of events. It's, we're supporting the scene in other ways, so... Yeah, me and Carl we enjoy watching, you know? Myself, Carl, Mudda, we're all kind of just seeing how the Div 1 players get along, yeah. You guys too, right? Everyone in chat, if I ask you guys, why are you not playing? You'd say the same thing. Yeah, and me and Carl, we're chilling. We don't need to play this one. Someone clipped. It was Noisia. Very far behind. Stuff's in the clear despite a mistake, because Matus is gone. This should be a easy save round for all the players here. You can jump very high, you don't need to risk a clip. There was a car that disappeared. Was that Mola? Pink car skin? Oh, this is close now. Wait, it's not. It was for a moment. Alarm. Under stress, he did not get the turnaround. He did not get the turnaround, guys. Another one. We saw it. Alright, so we're soon getting into the big points. If you haven't seen how this works, I'm gonna show this points distribution chart, you can see that we're right now at the top 20 round. You get 60 points for getting top 20, which is a sizable amount for esports Nation Cup rankings, but if you get into the top 8, that is like 100, 200, 300, 400 points. So that's where it really like gets good. So oftentimes we're not too concerned if someone gets knocked out in 45th or 15th. It's kind of the same thing for now. But in these later rounds, if you get one star performance today, that could send you to the biggest tournament in this game's history. But yeah, it's rare we've seen Trackmania pro players so displeased with a track as this one. It has to be said, this is one of the most challenging in all the weirdest ways, right? Oftentimes you just have to think about how good is my drift versus my opponent's drift, but here it's a battle against, I mean, icy car tire states, and oh my, Tween barely holding on ahead of Rossi. Bestie out and Rossi out. That was a very good run. And if you guys have played the campaign, you'll know as well, like, the author time on this track, Germany, is a 1:14. 1:15 maybe? And that is already a really good time to get. Like, that's difficult. We're seeing 1:11.8 being the slowest time that has you knocked out. So if you're struggling with author times this season, you would struggle with 1:11.8 here too. That's 3 seconds ahead of author time and still not good enough. Alcon low, but clean landing. Into the checkpoint. It's Jan in last. Heave in second last. Otak slow turnaround. Down the hill. Now it's Heave last. Into the drop down. The insta air brake for this fourth gear. The water. We haven't typically seen people fail this, and they don't really. Gwen in some trouble up there, but he corrected his line. Positions remain. Mola has dropped down. On the jump up. That looks like a good backwards landing, but it's gonna take more than one landing to save this. He needs some failed turnarounds up front. And they've all gotten it correctly. Even Heave, 1:11.9 doesn't cut it. Top 16. Feels like we didn't see Grenade at all this race. He's just chilling. Just chilling. Same for Pack, no? Have you even noticed Pack at all? I honestly can't say I have. Spectate Pack for one round. Oh. Thought for a second he had a tricky line to recover, but he made it. Nice landing there. Good inside drift too, but the uphill over the grass makes this slower on paper. The jump up, we're down to 1 knockout per round, it should be said. So you just have to make sure you're not last, and you're fine for now. And right now, that is Jan. Trying to get his Esports Nations Cup qualifier for Slovenia. I always mix them up, but I think Slovenia. And Tween there is Slovakia. Difference of the flags. Second turnaround, he goes high. He hopes someone will mess up. He's trying to safe it, but this might be too safe. And indeed. Tween has been orange so many times, just at the cutoff. But he's also playing it well, you know, he knows his limits. Like, out of the players here, guys, you think Grenade has a lot of experience, Massa has a lot of experience, but Tween has probably played more tournaments than both of them. Tween has 5 times been in World Cup finals at minimum, and has 4 second places. So he is very good. Used to be a lot better when World Cups were only played in drifting maps like this, where you know, do platform drifts and road drifts. But then, wait, Grenade. Aha. Bro got... Bro got disconnected, I think. That is German internet. The Deutsche Internet. What a classic. Of course it has to happen in such an important tournament. But yeah, that is so unfortunate actually. Like, not the fastest round here. He definitely would have gotten through this with how consistent he's been. And now he's out. He's already qualified. I mean, he's qualified for Esports World Cup, yes. But he's battling the guy who just won the round, Massa, for the German qualifier spot in the Nations Cup. And this is a big opportunity for Massa to overtake. And Massa seems like one of the top contenders here. Can you explain the difference between EWC and ENC? EWC is in August, $500,000 prize pool. And ENC is in November and has $250,000 prize pool. Both, I mean, extreme for what we're used to in Trackmania. If you hosted a tournament in Trackmania with a $5,000 prize pool, that would be a massive event back in the day. And now we're seeing these ridiculous sums, which all the pros are vying for. So both tournaments matter a lot to these players for being able to compete full-time. We've said it before, but basically if you perform well in the EWC and you win that tournament, you will outperform Carl Jr. in total lifetime Trackmania esport earnings. And Carl Jr. has won the World Cup 7 times. He's been by far and away the GOAT for about the last decade, winning every event he signs up for pretty much and never being outside the podium. So it's pretty crazy. You win one event now and you overtake him essentially. That's how insane it is. Aurel in some trouble. Everyone doing late turnaround now. They've rehearsed this. There is no mistakes. If you're behind by that much into the end, no real chance of recovery. But it's getting interesting now, guys. Like 14th, Aurel just went out. That was 76 points. We're soon getting to the big scores. And there's many players that haven't gotten this far yet that are still in. That I notice right now, we have Chemko with a massive performance for the ENC rankings. Also great for Tween. This might be his best Elite Cup yet. It's great for Solja when it comes to the Belgium rankings, trying to overtake Scrappy. Though Scrappy has some insane results, so it will be tough. Neon as well against Mime is a battle to pay attention to for Poland. Oh, Tack is sliding. Oh, he has low speed. Did that put him all the way down? Yes, it did. Soldier is upside down. And that is where his run on this map might end. Also, Stift's in the Netherlands rankings, should be pointed out. Like, Stifts did not play Red Bull faster to focus on the EWC, and that seems to have been a very good move. He's playing great so far. Super consistent. Let's see what Tween does. 3-second gap, goes for the turnaround. I think actually Tween missed the turnaround that previous round then. But he is safing. As soon as Tween sees a gap, guys, he chills, you know? Another orange for Tween. Soldier couldn't crank that. Are we doing the punts again? It's a bit late now. If we start with the punts now. Feel like we should have done that from the beginning if we were to do it. Also, very impressed by Tona. He had an Elite Cup recently where he got into, was it top 5? I don't remember. Tona is previously an Adeo employee actually, guys. So he was the one who was choosing track of the days for many years and helping with campaigns and such, and now he's just competing for the fun of it. But he is very good. Close round, up to the checkpoint. It's Neon in the back. Oh wow. I thought it was going to be Tween, but Neon can recover this. Neon is the world record holder on the track, but he goes wrong. Tries to send it down the hill. And I do think we'll see the same thing from Tween again. In the orange. Wait. He has low speed. Oh, it should be enough. It should be enough. Neon DNFing. Tween another orange. Staying in for one more round. Tona got signed by Big Org? Yeah, I know. But, I mean, he's a good player. But I do think his priorities up until now, up until being signed, have been more split. But if he can take it full-time, then take Trackmania as a full-time occupation, then we might see an even higher level there. This is cool. What do we see now, guys, in the top 11? I think someone clipped, or? Chamco. Almost into the top 10. Still massive points in the Turkish rankings. But yeah. Once you see a mistake like that, guys, the round should be over. In top 10, these guys have now been consistent for 31 rounds. There should be no way anyone messes this up. It is a formality to close this out. Just drive backwards to the finish if you want to guarantee the line. They do still turn around. And we go into the next one. 11-6 is now the cutoff time. So out of the surprising players left, for Stifts, this is now almost tying his best. He's gotten 9th earlier. And if we quickly check Mimo as well, Mimo Jr.'s best by far. Mimo Jr.'s best until now has been 26th. Whereas, you know, Wosal has won one, Massa has been in the top several times. There are others as well. The jump, Tona a bit behind. Good speed down the hill, didn't slide. Some others with a sharper line might have had some separation with the skid marks. He's close. This is still not over, but it's tough from here. It's very tough to come back. Needs to risk like Neon did and hope for the best. Tween struggling down the water and sliding a bit before the dirt. Better approach from Tona. Equal into the quarter pipe jump. Gwen falling down a bit as well. Better jump from Tona. Looks good for the angle. Equal to Gwen, but leaving Tween behind. Tween 0.2 behind. He's been orange so many times. Is this where it ends for Tween? Everyone gets to turn around. And 1:11.8 has him eliminated. But guys, he drove very consistent. 11.8 there and 11.6 as his fastest. And for Tween, that was now his best result. So he'll take that. Take that absolutely. Alright, lots of strong players left now. This is gonna get crazy. It's such a switch when a lot of the... oh, Stift is struggling. Good release to correct his trajectory. When the players that have all the pace are remaining like this, it gets pretty crazy pretty fast. We're seeing 1:11 low, I think, to be in. Tween, Tona with a poor jump gets overtaken by Stifts. He is trailing by quite a lot now. It's impressive how close Stifts is despite his start. He hasn't lost any time after that happened. What can Tona do? I don't think he can do much. Just has to hope something goes wrong for the others. Up the jump. But everyone got a good landing, and Otak is on a very good run as well. 0.3 ahead of everybody. Whoa, Sal dropping down a bit. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, it's close. It's close. It's a good effort. 1:10.91 by Otak. Into the top 8. At this point, you've guaranteed yourself 100 points. Survive one more round, it's 200 points. So this is a massive score for everybody still in. On the outside for Wosal, great start for him. First place at the drop down and into the drift. Bit wider than the others. Now Elcon's inside line is starting to maybe matter a bit, as those hundredths are costly. Oh, wide here on the drift too. Just gonna get a late jump. Late and high. Maybe leaving a bit to be desired. He's in the middle of the field. It's Maimo Jr. versus Otak in the back of the field. So the two French players holding on. Otak, who won the previous round with a 110, now finds himself quite far behind. Oh, but Maimo Jr. goes too fast. It went well for 34 rounds, but the 35th here is disaster. That's still very impressive by him. Good points overall. Everyone else can chill. And no disasters to be seen. Yeah, but look at the pace. If you don't get like a 111.3 or faster, you're not entirely safe. That seems to be like 111.2 and you get a guarantee. 0.3 and the others can just as well do that too. So Maimo gets 100. Everyone else now fighting for 200 and up. But look at this, right? Like Elcon's inside line, okay. It looks alright. Stiffs has a mistake. He clipped on the downhill. That's a full second lost. And then you see Elcon quite far behind as well, but this is not at all easy to recover. The others make the jump. They know the split. Otak is slow. Otak is very slow. Hang on. Still a little out of range, 0.3. But it's something to play for. If it were anyone else but Otak, maybe. But Otak 110 pace. This will not be easy. Otak, good setup into the dirt. Gains towards Stifts there. Now the gap is 0.4. Last quarter pipe jump up. Otak gets a good landing. Stifts hoping for a spin incident. But it will not happen. They all get the turnaround correctly. Who am I rooting for? I root for good Trackmania's watch. I'm rooting for the next 4 Elite Cups. This map is a bit interesting. But hopefully in clean rounds here in the top 6 it'll be good. So 200 points there for Stifts. His best result yet, I think, is confirmed. But yeah, this inside line from Elcon, when he gets it wrong too, it's even more time that he's left behind. So the fact that he's driving 111.2 with that is impressive, but soon I don't think that's gonna cut it. Great jump up and landing to gain a bit of time back. But what now? Now he is in the spot Stifts was in. He goes low into the grass. Maybe marginal difference he found in practice for that to be better. They've really studied like every single jump and turn to the pixel here, guys, to find out how things work. Otak versus Elcon in the ending. Otak has the lead. Elcon is trailing and has lower speed, so I don't think he'll be able to make this recover. He is going to be out in 6th place. Still very strong points, 300 points for Elcon. Elcon driving that inside line because of comfort more than anything. But guys, pay attention to this. This is starting to become really valuable for Massa. Massa is now guaranteed at least 400 points here, whereas Grenadi gets nothing from this cup because of his internet disconnect or PC crash. So yeah, this is starting to rack up here. And it could be that Massa gets a lead in that ranking by a lot the further he survives. Jump. Ooh. Good landing for Massa again. Clean downhill line. The spin. We're missing one player. We're missing Otak. But the pace is so much faster now. My god. They're all on 111 low pace here. Maybe Massa's on a 110 run. It's close. Otak better dirt line. Pack now last. Haven't seen him really ever endanger the entire cup, but now he's fully out. Misses the jump. You cannot drive forwards. And the other 4 players will not fail the situation here. Yeah, Wosal winning with a 1-11-0. Why nothing? Wasn't he like 16th or so? Well, it's effectively nothing because 16th place is 68 points. And at this point, Masa is getting 500 or more. So whoever goes out now gets 500. Whoever goes out third gets 600. Then 700 and the winner gets 1,000. This is pretty crazy. It matters so much to have one standout performance in the Elite Cup compared to consistent like top 10. Wosal has already won an Elite Cup. The others here I don't think have. I think Wosal is the only player in this group that have won an Elite Cup yet. My prediction was Gwen, but he's struggling now. Finds himself in the red. And far behind, the others again driving close to 110 pace. Just tiny mistake from Gwen to put him this far behind. He gets a good uphill and a good entry to the dirt. That is slightly closer for him now as Wosal wobbles, but is it enough? Is there a chance? Low jump gets him something. He's only a car length behind. Maybe some magic in the turnaround. Close inside to the pillar. Wosal does the same. The spin. Not quite there yet, and he will be out, but what a race. 0.9, 0.12, 0.15, and 0.19 that round. And that is 500 points for Gwen. He came back 0.3 in the ending or so, but not enough. We should have a new winner at this point. But who is it going? No, we should, well, not yet. Wosal's still in. Could still be a repeat win. He crashes though. He crashes. But he's not fully out. Gwen got back to the group from a distance earlier. Oh, I can't believe he held the grip there. The gap is bigger. 0.29. Still not over. Nothing to lose by trying, by sending. Downhill with the action key. Full nose slide. Spin and it's 0.3. 0.2 to Otak only. Even faster pace being driven by Masa. Still 0.2 to Otak. Oh, he risks so hard. He was flying almost up the hill. But he holds the grip. Low speed here makes this less likely. I clipped a bit, but that's an early landing. Just nothing to gain in the downhill. It has to be in the spin. Is there anything? Late onto the booster. It's a nice try. Wosal gets third, 600 points. New winner is now a guarantee. But who's it going to be? Masa versus Otak is the final of Germany. Could Masa win on his country's map? Or will it be the Franzosen taking it away? Let's see. Into the first outside dirt. Masa tends to drop down a little sooner than Otak. Otak with a more direct line into the drift, and he gains the lead. 300ths as they drop into the sausage block. Maybe slightly more into the uphill. 0.1 before we get to the first turnaround. Favor of Otak. Safer drift there though. Masa risking and coming back, making it almost equal. He had to release. Lands early, clean. And he does the action key. Steering as well. Get a clean downhill. We've seen Otak struggle a little bit in this turnaround, but he has one of his best ones yet. It's a fast round being driven. Both are on pace for under 111. Early wall ride for Otak into an auto slide. Gets him equal. They've been following each other the entire way. No slide, equal-ish, but Masa remains ahead. Up on the last turnaround now. Who gets the better landing? That is Otak. Otak with slightly more downhill speed too, but they're side by side around the pillars. Close inside line by Otak. Early onto the ice, the spin. Masa takes the lead. Last turn. What a race. Masa winning with a 1:10.93 and Otak second, 1:10.95. That is crazy. Crazy round. Masa winning Germany, 1,000 points. Winning his first Elite Cup. Like I said, guys, you know, these Elite Cups, they start a bit slow on a mistake-heavy map. But these last couple of rounds were incredible. Incredible last couple of rounds.
My god, bro. I mean, it's so good. And no mistake, like no big mistake, just like a like a slow end or like a slow backward section once, I think. What an insane performance by Otak as well, bro. Like, I got the victory, but Otak, hey, I don't know if you're listening, but well played, man. What a crazy round, bro.
And Musta's had a reputation of not being that consistent of a player. You gotta throw that out when you see his Elite Cup performances. They've been, for the most part, very good. So he's gonna jump up very high in the rankings. He's gonna overtake Binks. Is he first? Wow, yeah, Musta's first in the Elite Cup rankings. Until now, Musta had a 5th place, a 5th place, a 2nd place, and now a 1st place. And 2 cups where he crashed early, which happens.